Well, welcome to Thrive, ladies. How is everybody doing? Please unmute and say, hey, Thrive.
Hey,
Hey,
Thrive.
Thrive.
Hey, Thrive.
Hey, Thrive.
Yes. I know we got more ladies than that. Y'all need to unmute.
Hey. Good evening.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome to Thrive, ladies. Please drop in whatever group chat that you are a part of. If you're part of 50 of them like I am, let them know that Thrive Thursday is beginning, is starting now. We have a wonderful, wonderful lady on tonight who she has now become one of my closest friends, one of my boos. I'm just so super excited to have her on here. It's funny because we actually met like a year ago, but it was just a, hey, how are you doing? Nice to meet you. Kept it going, right? And then a few months ago, we ran back into each other and we looked at each other. We were like, we met before, right? We're like, yeah, we met before. And it was just like, I feel like I've known her all my freaking life. Well, she is definitely my boo. She's my girl. Just sitting and talking to her, we have so much in common. It's almost like our lives really were just parallel. And it has just been a pleasure and an honor to get to know her. And I'm still learning so much about her. And every time she talks, I'm just like, girl, get out of my closet. Like she is all up in my sauce. Okay. But I am super excited. Let me go ahead and get us pinned, girl, because we gotta let the ladies know they in for a treat tonight. I think that it's been super amazing because Thrive here lately has been just phenomenal, ladies. Wouldn't you agree? Like we have had some dynamic ladies in on this call. Can you drop a fire sign in the chat if you feel like Thrive lately has been, woo, all that in a bag of chips? Like I'm just serious. It's been super, super exciting. So tonight, ladies, you're in for a treat. We have none other than seven-time Hall of Famer. She is a boss diva. She is a mother. She is a wife, a daughter, a auntie, a cousin, and a boo, of course, to me and to many of us. None other than the rock star Hall of Famer girl herself. I was going to peg her as as the female Hall of Fame queen. That's what she is, Miss Amy Michelson. What's up, Amy?
How are you?
I'm great, girl. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
Thank you
Look,
for
we're gonna have
having me.
huh?
So thank you for having me.
Absolutely, of course. It's funny because when I met before, I was like, I need to get her on a call. And then we ran back into each other. I said, yeah, it's fate. I gotta have. And then now she's my girl. We talk every single day. It's amazing the bond that we have created. And her, myself, KG, Jonna, like we all went to Vegas for the lock-in, and instantly it was just kind of like four boss divas walking through the MGM. Like, I don't think Vegas knew what they were getting into when we
It
walked
just
through there like we owned the place, okay? And we did. So, but Amy, let's jump right on into it because I don't think that a lot of these ladies up here really know how tenured you are in this industry and in this business. So let's start there. We're just gonna sit back, lady. This is tea night, okay? If you got a drink, if you got some tea, if y'all have had a day like we've had, okay, or a few days like we've had, y'all probably ready to drink a little something, something. You are totally allowed tonight, okay? Tonight is the night because Amy is going to give us all the tea that we need so that we can maintain in this business. So, Amy, let's start off by you telling me, how you got started, how you got introduced into this industry? Because, honey, you a GOAT. You've been around for a little bit of time. So tell us how you got started.
So I was coaching travel softball. My daughter was 7. And then I went to school, got a business degree, never really wanted to work for corporate America. Interviewed with Home Depot, came down. I was going to be an advertising coordinator, came down between me and one other girl. And comes to find out her dad knew a higher up person. So it was like down between all these candidates. And I'm like, man, that's the way life goes, right? But I'm like, God has a plan for what I'm gonna, and I have been through like some other companies in the past, just like I guess we call them multi-level, like just like travel agency business, Mary Kay, like those kinds of things. I had this one lady tell me one time, she's like, Amy, whenever you find something you're good at, you're gonna be exceptional. And I was like, so I took that in my brain. And I was like, you know what? I was like, you're right. Because I believe growing up, like, and I try to teach my girls every day, you can accomplish anything you want in this life, no matter what life throws at you. Because my gosh, I've had a lot thrown at me throughout the last few years. 2021, I lost a spouse to cancer. I lost my cousin to COVID pneumonia 2 months later. I lost my assistant. She had a stroke from COVID. So she didn't pass, but she was pregnant. So I literally like had 3 things hit me in 1 year, and she'd been my assistant for 3 years. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like going through everything. I'd been married. I was separated from him, gave him and my kids everything. So in 2021 or 2027, okay, so 2021, we lost him. 2019, 2018, I was like the top producer in the entire company. Not all people knew that, but as a female, like there's not enough of us up there. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to show all you guys that us girls can hang, and we're actually. They didn't even make it a big deal, but I'm like, it is what it is. At least I know in my heart what I accomplished, and that's all that matters. So, I think like what I'm trying to say about upon all of this is that like you come into this thing every single day, like you have the right to get up and like rise from what you've been through, or to let things just keep you parallel and bog you down. So it's like you have to know that your why in this business, like it's got to make you get up and want to go every single day. Like my kids have always been like my ultimate, like I'm gonna do anything I can to protect you, and now I'm the only parent they have. So at this point, like I'm not gonna fail you, Now I feel like though, like having this like lifestyle that I've created for them is also kind of crippled them in a sense, because I want them to know that they can do this on their own and not have to have mommy, like rely on me for everything. So my daughters are 19 and 23 now, and so I was a young mom. But going through this, they were a lot younger at the time. So my spouse I lost, he was actually there to, I was running the field, because I didn't go over the phone till a year ago. About a year and a half ago, I should say. Because I was just like, just face to face for so many years. Like before COVID happened, we didn't do this stuff over the phone. So everything's changed a lot in the past 10 years. This is my 10th year, but that's kind of how I got into it. I was coaching travel softball. Jeremy's like, you'd be good at this. I was like, no, I don't want to do sales. Nah, I'm good. I got in. I struggled for the first like 6 months. We didn't have I want to understand, like I want to tell you new ladies out here, y'all have so much at your fingertips, so much like that's just the blueprint there. You just got to follow it. Like we didn't have lead sources. Like we were like running maybe 8 to like 12 appointments a week and like driving all over the world. Like I even locked down part of Tennessee. Like I was driving over 5 hours one direction just to go meet my clients. Like staying in hotel rooms, like, coming home the next day. My kids were younger, so I was sacrificing a lot for them, but now, dude, you just got to get up and show up every day and just put the calls in. And, no matter if you're You want to dial for forever, you're going to dial age leads. You're going to dial new leads, you may dial for a couple hours and book your own appointments or get a dialer. I mean, some people do the dialers. I've never had a dialer really work for me. I've done everything myself, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I feel like I've kind of been in this transition getting into telesales now, but I've been doing all right. So
You said a few things. I just want to kind of go back and unpack it a little bit. Um, first of all, you started off in the field, so I can relate. I started off in the field too, but you started off in the field like years ago. Okay, because you've been in this thing longer than we have. And
mhm.
so as a female, being in the field doing telesales, that's already kind of you got to have your guard up. I remember when I was in the field and I made sure I wore, jeans, nice shoes, a nice shirt. Then I finally got hip and was like, let me get my Family First Life shirt, let me look official. But, you don't want to be too glammed up because, if it's a guy, then, you're like, wait a minute, let me sit by the door. Like you do all these preventive things as a female that guys don't necessarily think about. So being in the field is a big deal. And now we've transitioned to, yeah, telesales. We can literally roll over, right? Fluff up our hair, throw on some lipstick. We don't even have to brush our teeth because nobody's smelling our breath over the phone. And we just dial. We just pick up the phone and dial. And then you took me back, Amy, because you said, man, I was running 8 to 10 appointments a week. I remember that. Oh my God. I remember thinking, man, we dialed on Mondays and Thursdays. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, we were in the field. At least that's, how our team did it. And it was so funny because I remember if I had a day where I had like a whole bunch of appointments in that day, like 7 or 8 appointments, I was like, oh yeah, I'm killing it. Like and it's drive time, it's what if they don't show, it's all of these things. But we thought we were doing something then, and we were, right? Because, of course, just like now, when we got the sale, it was good. But oh man, you took me back when you talked about that 8 to 12 appointments. Woo, child.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
lot.
crazy. It's like
And then you
you don't leave your house for less than 4. Some days you would dial all day and it's like just like telesales, you couldn't get them on the phone. So it's like, I got to keep going. I mean, I would dial in in the morning time, afternoon, evening. I was like, I'm gonna fill up this day, whether whatever. And some days it got to be like near the end where I was down, had 10 to 12 in a day, and my main area was 2 to 2.5 hours away. Atlanta, I'm from Atlanta, on the north side of Atlanta.
Mhm.
So going to get to my clients sometimes would literally take me 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I would get there, and then one person sometimes wasn't there. Like it was just like out of like 10, I may sit with 4 in a day. But I was like, well, you damn sure know I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help. I'm gonna help a couple of y'all. I
Right.
tell myself it's gonna be a $5,000 day, especially when I'm working on a Saturday or Sunday. It's gonna be a $5,000 day. It's gonna be a 10,000. I feel it. I speak it,
Yeah.
and I
Exactly.
make it happen.
Exactly. And what people don't, well, two things about Atlanta. Number one, traffic. Number two, lots of traffic.
It's horrible.
Yeah. You can literally your GPS can say it's 10 miles away, but it'll take an hour to get there.
Hmm.
So it's just the traffic just never ends. And then you mentioned Tennessee. A lot of people don't know. And I only know this because my brother lived in Chattanooga, but Chattanooga is just outside of Atlanta across the state line. So yeah, if you were going to Tennessee, I could definitely see
I
how.
was going though. I was driving 5 hours. I was going up the east side of Tennessee. I locked
Oh,
down. Like I couldn't. Like when we like back in the day, we had a lockdown area, so we had to lock down. I had a lockdown and a lockdown part of Tennessee. There was nothing
mhm.
in Georgia. Nothing.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing to hear. You would think being the metropolitan that it is, it's the metropolis that it is, what? That almost sounds unfathomable. Is
Yep,
that a word? Yeah. Look.
it is.
Yeah. Wow. So tell me a little bit about your transition. We always talk about transition from in the home to telesales because I think unfortunately a lot of these ladies, I would say probably out of the ladies that are on this call, I'm going to say a good handful, maybe 5 or 6, probably have done in home. Everybody else has probably done telesales. And the only reason I'm saying 5 or 6 is because I'm looking at who's up here, and I know for a fact we've done it in home because I know them.
Yeah.
But how was that transition for you? Like, what was the mental piece that you had to endure? Because, it's really different.
It is different. And I still struggle with it. I've been hung up on twice today. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years, but like sometimes I still struggle with like the social or the bank. Like it's just the trusting factor. Like sometimes no matter what you tell people over the phone, it's like if they just ain't gonna trust you. And it's just all there is to it. So I've learned that with the transition, like you gotta worry about like your activity daily. That's all you can control. And like my mindset's all I can control. So like there's days that I'm like, dang, I am so just over this day. I don't want to do this anymore. But then I know I got all these leads sitting here that need my help. Just like when I was having in-home mailers, I knew that I took it seriously. When somebody asked for my help, like I'm going to do what I can to help them. If they don't allow me to help them, then that's on them, you know?
Mhm.
So that's all at the end of the day that anybody can control is your own activity, and activity is always going to bring results.
Yeah,
So if you don't get
absolutely.
up and go to work, like you don't get up and go to work and go help families, whether you're in home, over the phone, you don't get up and show up, then don't expect to have money in your bank because
Right.
we're paid upon our efforts on helping others.
Right.
So to
I was
learn,
sharing.
the more you
Go
help
ahead.
people, the more you help people, the more you help your own family.
Exactly.
It's all
I was
numbers.
sharing. That's it. Like, and it's so fun. I'm so glad you talked about that because it is about your efforts. I was sharing with my team in our morning mindset that my son, he's been at his job for a year, and it's kind of like his little filler job because he's, as you know, he's in medical school and he's going to be graduating soon. But
Awesome.
he works at the airport at Enterprise, and he just hit his year mark. And Sunday, my niece, his little cousins, got dedicated, and so he had to leave a little early because he had to get back to work for his yearly performance review. Right. Immediately inside, I bust out laughing because I'm thinking to myself, okay, let's see what he's going to text me back, how much of an increase he gets. And so he texts our family group chat, woohoo, I got a whole dollar increase. Whoopee, right? And I bust out laughing, and then I hit him back. I said, aren't you glad you got an insurance license? Because, you work for a year to
Mhm.
get a dollar raise, Amy, and it's like, what are we doing? So I calculated it with the team. If you take that year and divide it by 365, it comes out to 0.0023 something cents. So it's not even a penny a day. Not
It,
even.
it's like they have this lid on you. Like this is what I can't. And I always tell people, like, if you were going to go work 40 hours a week for someone else, why would you not work 40 hours for your own family or 80 or whatever it takes, right? Like they have this cap on determining what you're worth. And I'm like, never in my life will I let someone else tell me what I'm worth in this lifetime. Because I know the self-worth that I put on myself, and I know the effort I'm going to put in every day and show up. So I'm like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't work for corporate America. So,
Mhm.
you know, every new agent I tell this to, I'm like, come in, I'm like, you're going to get out of this industry what you put into it. So again, if you go in, ask questions, apply yourself, try to learn as much as you can, don't bombard yourself, learn one new thing a day, then you'll be surprised where you're at in a year.
Absolutely. One new thing a day. We have this thing, 1% a day, right? Get 1% better every day. And wasn't that a t-shirt? I think that we had I think Sean Mike had a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Something about that. Yeah, like 1% or something like that. But yeah, 1% better every day. And I love what you said. Don't let people put a lid on you. Because Lord knows, as a lady, we have a lot of responsibilities. And oftentimes they involve parameters, lids, oh, we're very, I love it. Okay. Especially us as being females, how people, our male counterparts, want to tell us what we can and can't do and the limitations that we have just because we're a female, right? And don't get me wrong, there's some things I just don't want to do as a female, but it doesn't mean that we're limited in our thinking and how we operate. That's universal. So I love what you said about not putting the lid. So speaking of lids, you definitely have not put a lid on yourself. You have walked your talk, you've walked in those shoes and filled those shoes very well. Amy, I was taken back. I'm not even gonna lie. I was taken back. I was excited. I was dang near almost starstruck when you told me Hall of Fame 7 times. I like to hit the floor because FFL's only been around for what, 11 years, right? 11, almost 12 years. And in your journey, to know that you have hit so many times, I know that due to family, you had a little time away from the company and, did some other things and you came right back because you realized, hey, this is where I need to be. This is where I plant my feet. But tell us about that journey, that consistency, because I think that we as ladies, we always, and you and I talked about this earlier today, we're always doing everything for everybody else. We put their needs first. You and I are both mothers of 2. Our children are around the same age, right? You've been a widower and I'm a divorcee. So we both understand what separation looks like, but we still have our children. And, I'm not really sure, but I also, my mom is very close to me in my life and I make sure that she's taken care of and she also is a widower. So, I don't ever want her to go without, but it's always something, right?
Mhm.
It's always something, girl. You and I were talking the other day and something popped off at the house and we were like, girl, it's always something, right? And then I think you still did like 5 or 6 grand that day. And I was like, I'm gonna match her energy. I think I did like 3 or 4 grand that day. And we still bossed up and we
Yeah.
did what we had to do. How do you push through? Like, and the consistency. I really want to talk about the consistency.
It really just boils down to like, I know like you wanted to break down how consistently to hit Hall of Fame. Even the year I lost all that 20, I still hit Hall of Fame 2021. Like
Mm.
I don't even know how I
What?
did. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. This is my 10th going in 10th year this year, but the first year I got into the business, like I said, we didn't have any of the training and I struggled for 6 months. I did 120 in 6 months, my first 6 months. Okay. My first full year, I didn't even know my goal was 250. I did 397. So those are the 2 years I missed it. Was like my half a year in my year by $3,000. I was so mad, but I was also proud of myself because I was like, look, I put a goal of 250 and I crushed that goal, right? So if you break it down as far as numbers goes, I'm not the best at statistics and how to break things down, but I do know this. I do know if you're in the field or you're over the phone, if you're submitting $10,000 a week, that's 40,000 a month. Okay. You take back like what doesn't get approved, the chargebacks, whatever, that's 33 grand is 400 grand. Like it's not that deep. Right. So,
Right.
it's not really that hard if you break it down on a monthly basis or a weekly basis, you know, because I still plan vacations for my daughters. They still like to go nice places. I mean, heck, that, you got to plan for that too. But and the way I've stayed consistent is like, if I know something's coming up or holidays, I'll work hard like the week before or the week after, like to make sure I'm still hitting. And I know we talk about this, like, some weeks you're just like, my God, I don't know what I'm going through. I can't sell anything. Like it's just everything. I'm hitting a wall. But at the end of the day, as long as I'm still pushing through and I'm not letting my mental get all messed up and know that I'm here to help people, at the end of the month, you look up, it's still going to be fine. It's always going to be fine as long as you're putting in activity, right? So I think in order to be consistent, it starts with your daily like habits, like waking up. I today I got myself to the gym. I was on a gym routine. Like I need to be in the gym because I need to be able to release like energy and get it away from my phone 24/7. I need to start my day that way. I need to start my day with some meditation, some self reflection, some self help, prayer, like to get me through everything I deal with. Because some days, like, Lord help me, like I want to scream through the phone, but you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. We're still here,
Yeah.
and we're still waking up another day, and that's what we have to be thankful of. You start listening to some like pumped up Christian music, like we get in this group chat, like start playing some music that's going to be uplifting, read books that
Yeah.
are uplifting. You got to get through everything you're going through and don't let things bog you down.
Yeah. I think you said something key. I think I hope that all the ladies are in the Thrive chat in the WhatsApp. I post motivational stuff in there every once in a while. I'm gonna start posting some motivation music. I think it's needed. I didn't even think about that until you just said it. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna make sure that I do that. And for those ladies who are not in the WhatsApp Thrive chat in WhatsApp, I'm just put my number in the chat. Just text me and I'll be sure that I can get you added in there. But yeah, that mental is something to think about every single day. We have to deal with it. I love our team. Again, we do our morning motivation, whether it's a training or something positive, or we go through a book or whatever. It just kind of is that breakfast. I call it the breakfast club. It's just we need that morning breakfast to start off our day, because if we start off jacked up, it usually just kind of goes
Everything's going to
downhill
keep
from there.
spiraling that way, right? Because I know,
Exactly.
like, when I first started, Sean Ruggiero, Sean Mike, they all told me that, like, this business is 99% mental, 99% mental.
Yeah.
Because some people think, hey, y'all don't really work like when you're just answering calls and talking to people. No, it's mentally draining at times. It's mentally draining going through the frustration of helping a client, them not understanding and canceling the next day. And like it makes me upset because like you just canceled for your family. You're canceling the coverage that is needed. I don't need you to buy this policy. You're the one that inquired, right? You're the one that needs the help. And to me, I guess I view it, I don't even view it as what we do as sales. I view it as education on a daily basis of what's the best route to help you. And to me, I would appreciate if somebody was an expertise, even if you've been doing this for only a few months to a year, you pass the insurance degree, you're an expert. Okay. You know more things than the most common people do. So you learn as you go. So don't let anyone discount the fact that if you've only been doing this 2 months or 1 month, my God, even at the Las Vegas convention, I'm like, these young kids coming up to me like, oh, you're a pro. I'm like, I just do what I do. Like I'm not nothing special. I just go to work. And then I get them to come in here like, my God, I've done like $50,000. I've made 40 grand, 20 years old. Like, where in this lifetime can you go make that money at that age without a degree, for God's sakes? I was blessed enough to get a degree because I was talented. I got a track scholarship. I didn't have to pay anything for school. I mean, I went through athletics through my junior year, got pregnant my senior year. My dad said, I don't care what you're going to do. You're going to come home and you're going to graduate. I graduated with honors, top 10%. Cause I'm like, I'm going to put my mind to do it. And I did it. And then 20 years later, my daughter graduated with honors to a T.
Awesome.
Same month and everything. I graduated December 10th. She graduated December 7th, 20 years to the day later.
Amazing. Look at that.
Magna cum laude. I'm like, that's crazy. 2 different universities though. I went to Georgia State. I went to UCF, Central Florida, and Georgia State. So I ran track transferred a few times. She graduated from West Georgia. And my other daughter goes to KSU.
And that's another thing we got in common, Amy, because I went to college on track scholarship too. I don't think you knew that. Like I was trying to go to the Olympics. Yeah, that was my whole thing.
I would have been in the Olympics if I didn't have my daughter. I was the fastest girl in the state of Georgia, undefeated for, my God, since middle school to my senior year. I got in a car accident. Some girl tore every ligament in my back. Come back from that. I still ran in college. Came in as a freshman, transferred from UCF to ETSU, full ride, both schools. Then I got pregnant my junior year. And we're like, you would have been up in the Olympics. I was a white girl running the 400 anchoring. I was the only white girl on the track anchoring, and I still hung.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But but God, right? Different plan. It's okay. It's all right. And your daughter, she thrived. She graduated. Same thing. That was just a reminder for you that hey, it doesn't matter. You can't stop a person that won't quit. And
I
you
told
didn't
her, I said,
quit.
you don't really have to get a degree. Like, like degrees are overrated. I told my other daughter, I was like, really, it is. It's about when you learn what you can learn in this lifetime. I'm not going to discount if you wanted to get a degree. If that's what makes you feel better and you have some stuff on paper, go ahead and do it. But I can tell you, like, if I could go back and I wasn't on a scholarship, I probably wouldn't have went to a 4-year school.
Mm-hmm.
I would have started
Yeah.
insurance. Like I meant,
I know that
I'm like, I started
you
insurance.
ain't lying. You're
Yeah.
not lying.
Look at where we be today.
And it's so funny because I think back, I was actually, I don't even think I've even told anybody this, but I actually went to an opportunity meeting. Come to find out it was an insurance. It was, oh my God, every bit of, how old is my son? 25. It was at least 22, 23 years ago. I can't imagine where I would be right now if I had gone ahead and stuck with it, like, really committed. At the time, I had a 3 and a 4-year-old. So it was just not in the cards for me at that time, I thought. But timing is everything. And like you said, you can't stop anybody who won't quit because once you did get going, look at where you are right now, right? And for the past 9, 10 years you've been in this industry, it hasn't stopped. You've had some bumps in the road, but it hasn't stopped. Let's talk a little bit about the things you encounter because we talked about this earlier too, and I want the ladies to hear us just kind of talk through the mess that we go through, right? Not just as a lady, but just as a woman in business, we encounter the same things that everybody else encounters. Crazy leads, getting hung up on. Talk to me in the day of the life of Amy. Like, how is your typical day? And talk to me about just some of the things that you encounter. Hall of Famer, 6-figure earner, jacket wearer. Like, it's the same, right? But tell these ladies how real it is for you and what you deal with in this telesales slash, because I know you still do some in-home appointments world that you live in.
No, I'm mainly all over the phone now. I probably should go back to my clients, my book. I'm probably missing out on a bunch of business, but like I'm always like having all these new people come in. So it's like I've done mortgage protection, veteran, some IUL, and just been trying to find the mix that works. I feel like some batches, some days are better than others. It's not just like someone's lucky and we go through the same thing. I mean, even today, I tell people like I have to go over this information for you. My job's to help you. We got to have your social to pull the prescription check so that we can qualify you for whatever coverage they're going to give us, whether it's preferred, standard, immediate, whatever. Like I'll just tell them whatever. And they're like, okay. And then when I'm like, okay, Mr. Cooper, where's the social? Or what's your social? They go, click. And I'm like, did you really hang? That happened to me not once, but twice today. Not once, but twice. I'm like, seriously, like I didn't stutter. I didn't act like timid. I mean, I did the same thing. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And if it's not me, because I called him back, I left him a message. And I had a lady, same thing. Even yesterday, I had the same thing. Like, she was in Rome, Georgia. So she was only probably like 50 miles from me. She told me her address and stuff. I'm like, but I'm not going to drive to your house. Like, if you're not going to give me your social over the phone, who says you're going to open the door? I'm like, I'm not going to chase you down.
Right.
Back in the day, I may have if I was in the area. That's the crazy thing. I would still door knock people all the time because I was driving 2.5, 3 hours away. If I was no show to reschedule, and they're like, "How are you still door knocking?" I was like, "I'm just rolling up here and just seeing who I can help." Same as what you're gonna do. I'll FaceTime. I'll do whatever I can. Here lately to get a hold of them.
Yeah,
But it
it's the
still
same.
happens.
It's no magic pill, right? It's no magic pill. It's no magic lead. We just doing our job as agents to make it, and like you said, educate our clients so that they can make the best decision, or we help them make the best decision based off of the inquiry that they put in.
Mhm.
And that's the key. Sean Mike talked about that. Like you're really getting mad at me because you submitted the
I'm trying to help
request.
you.
Right. And you think I'm bothering you. You're bothering me. You're the one who submitted the request. Like he says it way more eloquent than I could, but it's the truth. That's what it is. What would you say to these our Thrive ladies as we almost wrap up here? What would you say to the ladies as far as just your tenacity? Because I truly am amazed, Amy. You're such a humble person. Like you're really cool. I don't even can't even imagine seeing you get ruffled. But I'm pretty sure if you do, you don't want to be around for it. But for all that you've been through and just being able to stay the course, like what would you say to all the ladies here in Thrive, the mothers, the widowers, the divorcees, the parents, because it's a lot of mothers on this call, a lot of single mothers on this call, a lot of married mothers on the call. You've been both, right?
Mhm.
So what would you say to us that will help us to continue to keep consistent and to stay the course, because it's so easy to get sidetracked?
It
What would you
is.
say to help
I
us
would
with that?
say, to write down your goals, to put your vision board up, to visualize them, to like always when things are not going your way, to like remind yourself of why you're doing this and what you're trying to accomplish in your life. Because that's going to guide you back all the time to where you need to go in your daily activities, goals, whatever. It goes back to what you want out of your life and what you're
Mhm.
trying to accomplish and what you're trying to like what your why is. So you got to visualize that, write it down, focus on it, and don't let anything stop you. I sent y'all that shirt this morning. It said, "Still I rise." As I'm walking
Yep.
through a treadmill, as I'm walking stair treads, still I rise. If you wake up every day, say, "Still I rise," no matter what life throws at me, still I rise. It's because that's what you think about what you want to accomplish in your life, no matter what you
Mhm.
go through.
I I agree. I think, and I'm just going to kind of give some of the ladies a little peek behind the door. The four of us I mentioned, we've created a bond amongst the four of us, and we know who we are. I have to say, having a group of your peers to push you, to motivate you, helps so much.
Right.
Like especially as leaders, because the four of us, we're leaders in our respective groups, right? We all are, um, you know, uh, logo earners. Two of the four of us are Hall of Famers. The other two of us will be Hall of Famers this year for sure. So hey, we can't wait till next year. We'll all get to say we're all four Hall of Famers. We're all mothers, but we all have those things that just challenge us every day. And our group, when we text one another, it never fails. It's always what I needed. And one of the things that I always talk about, especially here in Thrive, and I post it throughout the week if I see a motivational quote, I share it because I want the ladies to see, hey, I don't know what you're experiencing today, but it sounded good to me. Let me share it with you. We have to fix each other's crowns. We have to uplift one another, empower one another. That's what it's about. And having our group truly has helped me, because I'm kind of like the new kid on the block with it.
Mhm.
It really has just helped me so much. Um, what do you think about that? Because I know we get a little comical too, though, for real. We won't talk
Mhm.
about that part.
Jonna, she keeps
Jonna, you
off
know
the
what? I'm
chain.
just saying, it's always one, right? It's
she's
always
young.
one.
She's the youngest. That's why.
Yeah. And it's funny because I think that with my personality, people think that I'm the one that's a mess. And I'm probably the most disciplined one. So serious. But it's good to have each other to help one another. And I would definitely encourage you ladies, in our Thrive chat. That's why I have it, because I want us to be able to help one another, empower one another. I get excited when I see the other ladies post something motivational. It's not just about me. Y'all can post stuff too. That's what I want you to do. And so I definitely know that it has really helped me. You have helped me, because you'll just be like, girl, let me tell you what happened to me today. And immediately, whatever was going on with
Like,
me,
damn, mine don't seem so bad.
it's out the door, right? I just like, oh, well, shoot. I'm not going to complain then. I think I'm okay.
Mike's like,
Yeah.
man, I don't know how you go on what you go on daily, daily, daily. What if you knew what I had to deal with on a daily basis? Like what? There ain't no words for it. But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Right. And then we all have it. We all go through it. And yes, the most important thing, we can survive it. You're living proof that you can make it still. I'm still blown away at the fact that you still hit Hall of Fame in 2021, despite everything that you've gone through. I think that makes me say, well, shoot, let me drop my little tears. Let me, mend my
No
little wounds
excuses.
I thought I had. Girl, please. I'd be a whole pity party in here getting mad. And then my team's looking at me like, are you serious right now? But that's what happens when you're an overachiever and you're driven. And
Yeah.
so you just won't allow yourself to settle for anything less. And I think this community and Far to Thrive, we cannot allow each other, ladies, to settle for anything less. We're all very deserving of all that we want to get, because we do so much for everyone else. We definitely deserve so much for ourselves, but we do got to work at it, right? It
And
takes
then
work.
you also got to reward yourself sometimes too. Like it's hard, like there's so much I have to remind myself, like I work really hard. I should take a day to like go to a spa or, relax and get a massage, do something because, like we deserve it too,
Yeah.
reward yourself for what your efforts have gotten to,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Absolutely. What's next for you? It's April. It's the beginning of April. We're already down one quarter into the year. What are you thinking for this year? What are your goals? What are you trying to do? What's the goals for the team?
I'm right now looking to build with, I've got a key player that's coming back. I'm looking to build, I want to have 5 to 750 in a team production. Like that's my goal. Not sure I'll hit it, but I want to be there because I know the closer, I don't want to have to do insurance. I want to be on the other side teaching, you know, where we need to be and how to coach that part, not have to hustle every day because it gets tiring. It gets tiring mentally after so many years of hustle and bustle.
Do you feel like a lot of it, speaking of being tired, like do you feel like the repetitiveness of it is just like, or
Um,
are you just so used to it that you just, I don't know, it's just second nature to you now at this point?
I mean, some days, yeah, it's just like I know, like I say when I shifted to telesales, I feel like I was working more because, especially if you have states that are 3 hours behind you or whatever, it's like, your days can get long. And it's like, I
Mhm.
feel like I was working more from home than I was on the road because I was just like, you have to learn to like have a schedule that's going to work for you and to maybe have 2 days that's long, and like, to because it can burn you out. It could, like if you're just doing all the day every day and just sitting in front of a computer. And I'm just not one to sit all the time. So it's hard for
Mhm.
me to sit. So I'm like all the time. I got puppies. They're always yelling. I'm trying to apologize for them, but I'm up and down dealing with them, letting them out. Yesterday, I don't even know what happened. They had an accident. had to put myself off camera because Teddy Bear had something stuck in his little booty and like got over my office. And I was like, what the hell's going on? Trying to run my appointments. Like I feel like I'm raising little kids with puppies now. With three
Yeah.
puppies. I raised 3 girls and now I got three puppies.
You're the Brady Bunch. You're your own Brady Bunch.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't change. It doesn't stop. It continues on. And if it isn't the kids, then it's the animals. If it ain't the animals, then it's the spouse.
Told my daughters no grandbaby soon. I'm too young to be a grandma.
Right.
But I know in a couple years that's going to probably be happening. So, you
Hey,
know,
and guess what? You'll be prepared for it. We
yeah.
take it. That's what we do. We're women. We're resilient. We take a look in and keep on ticking. That commercial was for us. That wasn't for no daggone battery. That was for us.
It's funny. Yeah, but I would just say, at the end of the day, just man, Aflac was still open. I just learned today. I learned something new. So I was asked Clarissa from Aflac, what time do y'all close? She says 5 Central. So they're open till 6. I've been trying to find out from this veteran what her policy details. She's not a morning person. I called her the last 2 times. She didn't know, showed me. We'll see if she answers tomorrow. But now I know Aflac is open till 6 Eastern, 5 Central. You learn something new every day.
Every day. That's the part that 1% better.
Yeah.
Every day. And it don't change. I just love the fact that ladies, I don't think she sounds any different than us. You're just real. You're just another lady who has been it maybe longer than some of us, but consistently doing it and having those moments to put yourself first. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that you have to take time for you. I think that's been part of my these past 24, 48 hours, right? I have been sitting in front of the computer, I swear, for the past 60 days. I've gotten up to go eat and go to sleep, and it has been nonstop. And I think it hit like 48 hours ago. It just hit. I just crashed. I was like, I can't do this. Woke up with a headache. It's crazy. But the mission is still the same, but we do have to have that moment, those moments of reset. So ladies, please take it from Amy, take it from me. You got to have that moment, because if not, everybody's going to catch it, because we know we run the house. We do. We truly, truly run the house. We run the world. We should have played that song, but we run it all. So thank you, Amy. Is there any ladies on right now? Does anybody have a question for Amy that maybe I didn't discuss, or kind of we have a little bit of time, we can open it up. Any questions for her? It's not too often we get this close to someone who's done it for so many years. What you got, Cherie?
Yes, Amy, I wanted to know, what is your schedule like on a daily basis? Like, how do you break up your day? What do those
Um,
hours look like?
yeah, so I mainly have my leads coming in Monday through Friday. I have a boat, so I try to release myself and get away sometimes on the weekends. But I still sometimes work on a Saturday, but I'm usually working about 9 to sometimes around 7:30 or 8. I'll like if I can get to the gym, I'll get to the gym before I go to work, because it's harder to go in the afternoons. My daughters want me to go with them sometimes at like 10 or 11. I feel like I'm so far behind because I can't stay on a minimum schedule on that. So I will try to work from like 9 to like 12:31ish. A lot of times we have calls at 12, or we have some kind of training, and then I'll grab me, like make me some lunch or something, and then go back, and I'll work to around 7 or 8 or 8 or 9, depending on what states I have going on that day.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Question. Any other?
I'm mainly doing like, I don't have a scheduler to do my appointments. So I'm mainly just calling my people and just trying to get them on the phone and doing one call closes mostly now.
Yeah. And that's another thing. You're the one girl show, like myself, like it's a lot of agents out there that, we don't have dollars. We don't have, we are it. We are everything. So that just adds to the workload that we have. So scheduling is very important for us, because our time is extremely precious. When you agree.
Yeah, and I used to have assistants when I ran in the field, and I had assistants for a little while, but now I don't have an assistant. So now, like, even calling America today to figure out why they were reissuing a policy and gave me a $2,300 chargeback. What are y'all doing? They're like, oh, well, you're reissuing the policy tomorrow because I increased policy from 20K to 30K, and it'll pay you tomorrow. But I'm like, I just don't like that negative. I don't like that
Mhm.
negative C, like fix that, but it took me 20 minutes to get them on the phone today, but that takes time. I ain't got
Yeah,
time for
that's
that.
good. That's good. I think I set an hour on Tuesday or something like that. I was like, this is crazy. We have a
So,
question in the chat. Do you still have a script that you use, and how do you handle your objections?
um, I don't really follow scripts. I have some that we've used from National or like that John has given me or whatever, but I kind of done this for so long. I just kind of rolled with whatever. I just let the conversation flow. I should be more structured. Maybe that's why I get hung up on sometimes because maybe I'm just not as structured as I need to be. But yeah, there's scripts that I can have beside me, but I don't follow them to a T.
And that's okay. It's working for you,
What did
apparently.
you first start selling, and which did I find easier? I did mortgage protection mainly. I don't recommend that's the easiest. I think for new people that the final expense and veterans are going to be easier for you to understand more so than ULs or mortgage protection. Now you can learn them, but especially over the phone, for sure, the final expense and veteran will be easier.
Sierra asked, did you close more face to face over the phone? I think probably
Face to
because you're
face.
tenure face to face, yeah. But now over the phone, you're closing.
I mean, yeah, I did 757 was my highest face to face year. And my over the phone, I think I did like 600
Mm. Yeah,
for my first year transitioning.
yeah.
Six something, I don't know.
And that's a lot of activity too. That's double the activity, more lead flow, right? Because you got to have the leads to dial. You're not
Right.
spending time in the car now. You're now spending time picking up the phone and dialing. So you have to have more in your pipeline to get to in order to close more. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah. And I
Um,
was like that first half of the year I was doing mortgage protection. So I was setting my own appointments for same day. And I would tell you like I could set sometimes even over the phone, like 14 appointments. And even you're going to have no shows over the phone too. I think people that have dollars still have no shows. They may have like, maybe like out of 14 appointments, you might have like 10 maybe answer it on a good day.
mhm.
Same day.
Yeah, yeah. Still the ratio. It's the activity, right?
Yeah.
All about the activity. Any other questions for Miss Amy? Well, I thank you for taking the time for joining us tonight. I know it's been a crazy day. Like I said, we talked earlier, every day. Um, and still you rise. Still you rise and you showed up to thrive. I like that.
That I was going to bail, didn't you?
Uh-huh. I said, are you gonna be okay? You're like, I'm here. I'm gonna make it.
Like I'm
But we
closing
got,
on a house. I'm closing on a house tomorrow. I got a million things on my plate, but I'm still going to be here.
and almost every day something has broken down. And still we're here because it's what we do. It's what we do. We're women. We're resilient. That's what we do. It's nothing else but that. So thank you so much, Amy, for joining us tonight. I so appreciate you. Ladies, let's clap it up for Amy. Let's throw some fire signs in the chat. I don't think y'all understand. She is just such a phenomenal lady with such a huge heart. And Amy, you are a whopping, how tall are you? 5'4"?
5'2". 5'2".
5'2". I love it. So my girl, one of my agents, Corey, I pick with her all the time because we were at some event and I put her in the trunk. So I got a picture of her. I said, this is how small she is. So Amy is about the same size. I can just pick Amy up on my back. She's a little teeny thing, but she is a force to be reckoned with.
I say dynamite comes in small packages.
Hey, that's right. I will want you on my side every time. That's for sure. Thank you so much. Ladies, if you want to be on the Thrive WhatsApp chat, please send me a text. I'll be sure to invite you to the group. I'm always posting motivational stuff. And yes, we will always have a recording of this call that I will post in the chat later on. Hopefully, by the weekend, we can have that uploaded. So thank you so much again, Amy. I'm gonna let you get back to it because, girl, I know it's been a day, but I so appreciate you. I love you. You my girl. Always.
Me too. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks, ladies. Don't
Bye,
forget
y'all.
to fix each other's crowns. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.